New at 11, a scene of pure horror as a man burns himself alive in front of a New Hampshire courthouse. The terrifying scene unfolded in front of witnesses in Keene. Tonight, we've learned the man is from Holden, and as News Center 5's Jorge Quiroga tells us, his fiery death isn't the only surprise he had planned.
On the courthouse steps in Keene, New Hampshire, the man calmly doused himself with gasoline, then lit a match.
He walked around a little bit, walked onto the grass, collapsed on all fours, and he literally sat there and burned.
58-year-old Thomas Ball of Massachusetts. Witnesses said they tried to help but couldn't, in part because he didn't seem to want it.
Like, he just looked like he was just chilling there, like doing yoga or something. Just like, it was weird.
Thomas Ball lived here in Holden. We found his yard and the front porch to his house as cluttered with stuff as the 20-page manifesto that he left behind was filled with perceived slights by police and the court system. In his statement that he sent to the Keene Sentinel before his death, Ball admits his life and marriage unraveled 10 years ago after he slapped his then 4-year-old daughter and cut her lip.
He had a little girl and things happened, and then they separated. Well, they had a court separated them.
He ranted that police and the courts bullied him during a bitter custody battle over his 3 children. Unemployed for 2 years, owing thousands in back child support, he saw himself in a rabbit hole, facing certain jail. Neighbors never saw the rage burning.
But they basically stayed by themselves, They never associate with the rest of the neighborhood or whatever.
A brother who lived with him and didn't want to go on camera said Ball was very troubled, that he went through a difficult divorce and believed he was wronged. Jorge Quiroga, News Center 5.
Well, you're right. Witnesses say they couldn't believe what they saw right here in front of the courthouse in Keene. A man last evening poured something on himself and then lit himself on fire. The man was dead before help could arrive.
At first, police didn't know who the man was or why he took this sort of action to kill himself. Cheshire County Attorney Peter Heed says little was known about this man who burned himself to death.
We understand that he was, at least most recently, living in Massachusetts, although he may have had family in New Hampshire and obviously had a connection to this courthouse.
Details of Ball's issues were sent to the Keene Sentinel by the U.S. Postal Service. Paul Miller, managing editor for the Sentinel, says they were surprised and troubled by what they found inside.
And it came mailed directly to the Sentinel in a very simple envelope. It was basically a kind of an overview of the contents of a larger letter with some bulleted point items, and then the 15-page letter was copied onto a CD.
A man who investigators now confirm was 58-year-old Thomas Ball of Holden, Massachusetts, called the letter a last statement and wrote, "A man walks up to the main door of a Keene, New Hampshire County courthouse, douses himself with gasoline, and lights a match, and everyone wants to know why." Ball went on to explain years of frustration with the court. Documents there show an ongoing divorce proceeding that started in 2001 and a lengthy battle over custody of Ball and his wife's 3 children.
Now, Ball was actually due in this same court next week for a contempt hearing. Live in Keene, I'm Suzanne Rowntree, WMUR News 9.